So, back in 2021, Minnesota wanted to pass a bill that would fine kids $300, escalating to the parents of the child being locked up in prison for 90 days, and $1,000 in other punishments that they could find for this reason. Um, in Florida, the House Republicans passed the bill 77 to 40. The language is likely the same as the Ohio bill, which I'm about to get to shortly. And this Florida bill definitely shakes the hands of the Minnesota prison plan. Um, kids to 12, kids to K through 12 are being massively cracked down on. Since March 30th, 2021, Republican Governor Brad Little signed the Fairness and Women's Act. This bill that's framed as a sports bill, which involves blood work, estrogen levels, and genital checks, all in the name of stopping trans and ambiguous overlaps. The historical projection is real. Conservatives have always claimed men pretending to be women will infiltrate their privacy, and now conservatives are doing the exact same thing. And to children who want to participate, these scientifically illiterate people wrote in the bill their gender needs to be examined via the student's reproductive anatomy, genetic makeup, or normally endogenous produced testosterone. First off, despite the biological differences of like bone density and the Q angle of the hips, which is massively overrepresented, there just isn't a normal level of estrogen and testosterone. It's all about a balance. You can see my description for details, actually. Alright, I'm going to go off topic a little bit, but this is a background history of hormones a little bit. Alright, hormone therapy has always been used to treat cis people who are having hormone imbalances, confidence levels. And estrogen actually treats breast cancer in women, believe it or not. There's a lot of fucking testosterone in cis women that we wouldn't have known about, okay? So these people are purity testing, and they're just going to lock people up for, like, levels of estrogen and testosterone they don't think is normal, okay? The conservatives are denying puberty blockers, which are sort of reversible in children, who, if given at a young age, will make it easier for their bodies and minds before the designated hormones kick in, acclimating the body, as opposed to suddenly turning the hormones off to change their biology. But this is not what they want, and this is not what average people want for trans kids. They want to do it earlier, okay? But conservatives want you to do it late as adults. They don't want you to have confidence because they want the scapegoat of the awkward puberty stage on adults. They don't want you to experience this in a normal functioning way, okay? Conservatives want to see you scramble. They don't care. Trans kids are always likely to commit suicide, is what people say with no context added. But social stigma from family, friends, city, and the society at large can cause unrelated mental issues such as depression, substance problems, separation anxiety, which is reduced with puberty blockers, along with the main core of the well-known dysphoria, which is not really a trans thing, but an outward and inward mixed with how society sees you. Which is how cis women feel. The expectations compared to what's inward and outward with their bodies. Okay, most women know this. They probably don't want to be told that. So sorry if that's awkward, but seriously, this has to be said. You have to be able to connect with people you think are unlike you. Obviously, it's a bit different because the trans thing is an overlapping meta that unravels the reality of our utility of the binary. Because there has, after all, been third genders that certain societies perceive themselves as, which does not go against procreation, but doesn't focus its overall existence on it, since it's their own meaning. Okay, so as I was lurking on Twitter via the pole vault power page, which I don't usually do, because this Reich type affecting human rights had me find this on Twitter, actually. So, anyways, I came across a debate on the Sawyer syndrome, which is just ambiguous genitals that overlap, and people like to say, well, this is a small percentage of the population, and they don't think they should compete. So this was compared to gingers, and there's 1 to 2% gingers in the world or whatever. But if you were to just suddenly get rid of all the ambiguous biology, sex people, and yeah, it would be millions of people. You can't just simply say, oh, it's a small percentage, therefore it's a small number. You are actively suggesting genocide without even realizing it. Or you do realize it and you don't care. Alright. Because there isn't a normal state of hormones, and because bio-meta overlaps muddle our intuition and make us uncomfortable, maybe check yourself before they come down on you for what they consider normal to their model of perfect male and female. Because you think you're safe. You all think you're safe. You think it's just an LGBT problem. But historically, they've always come for the people that you didn't expect to, last, okay? They will come for you last. Ugh. In an article called Pink News, to give a massive name drop, the author and activist who wrote the book Gender Critical, Helen Joyce, claimed she wanted to reduce the number of trans people, claiming they're all damaged for those who transition, saying we need to stop because consciousness has been raised already, so we need to get over it. She goes on to say, even if you're unhappy, or even if you're happy with your transition, these people need special accommodations in a sane world. Saying it's all a huge problem in a sane world as well. Whatever special accommodations mean, it's not going to be comfortable at the end of the day. This language is defeatist, if not malicious. Basically saying, walk the line we want. Now, what are you... And now that we obviously... She's basically implying that now that we gave you a say, now's your time to shut up. And, special accommodations could mean anything. But these trans kids and trans adults continue to question... The society continues to question these trans kids and trans adults. And all they want to do is live their lives. They don't want to be specially accommodated in some weird way, They just want to live. They want respect, Alright, that's it.